We've shied away in recent years from asking athletes to be role models because we've ended up disappointed in a lot of cases. It's really kind of simple. A role model is the person who overcomes obstacles with dignity. And so a parent can say to a daughter or a son, that's how you handle defeat, adversity. That's how you treat people. Check this out. This was yesterday here at TPC Sawgrass, Jordan and a young fan.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
I'm doing a report on you at school. Do you want to hear my speech?
Sure, buddy. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jordan Spieth. I was born on July 27, 1993 in Dallas, Texas. I am famous for being one of the most well-known golfers on the PGA Tour. One reason is for being one of the youngest golfers to win the Masters, U.S. Open, and the youngest golfer to win the John Deere Classic in 82 years. A little known fact about me is I am a huge Dallas Cowboys fan and good friends with former Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo. Did you know my middle name is Alexander? I also have a special needs sister named Ellie, and my foundation's platform is to find better educational opportunities for children like her. Thank you. Hope to see you out on the court.
I mean, don't you love that? And you remember the days when we had to do a book report, right, on one of our heroes. So, look, you know, kids still, they want to grow up to be Jordan or Rory or Steph Curry, whomever it is. You know the Texan, right? He's a UT guy, like the two of you.
I do. It's interesting. You know, the conversation about role models is an interesting one. So, you know, again, in my Google search, and my computer was like, wait, you're asking me what? But I looked up, a very popular consulting firm stated these 7 traits of a role model. Demonstrate confidence and leadership. Don't be afraid to be unique. Communicate and interact with everyone. Show respect and concern for others. Be knowledgeable and well-rounded. Do good things outside the job. And then this last one is tough, especially for golfers. Have humility and willingness to admit mistakes.
There you go.
All of those things, to me, I think of Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. First of all, I didn't know Jordan Spieth's middle name was Alexander, so that kid was sharp.
No note cards by him either.
No,
Not like I have.
He didn't have the yellow legal pad, so that kid could be a great commentator if he's not going to be a great golfer. But you know, sports are so much of our lives. So it's a huge part of all of our lives that it's no wonder that we hold athletes up to these oftentimes unrealistic expectations to be role models, because it's easy to do, to attach character traits to athletic accomplishments. It's very easy to do. But at the very least, athletes, they do inspire us. They inspire all of us to chase our dreams. Occasionally, doesn't happen very often, that an athlete comes along that, and we're not saying they're mistake-free, but to your point, they admit the mistake, they accept it, they're contrite, they apologize with humility, and they move on. So that's how you end up with Peyton Manning or Walter Payton or Russell Wilson or Roger Federer or Mariano Rivera or David Robinson. I mean, you can go on. And when I think of all those athletes, I think of Jordan Spieth. Because you think about it, I mean, to be a great athlete, and we've talked about this a lot, you do have to have an inner arrogance. You do. You have to have it. You have to stand out there and believe you're better than everybody else. And in spite of evidence to the contrary, you have to believe it. Sometimes that can just creep out of you. And it often does. And to see him achieve greatness and then, you know, fall off and handle both of those with such humility. When he's asked those questions about him struggling, when he gives those great answers, to me, that's him saying, I understand you have a job to do. I respect your job. I respect that it's not my job just to take the money and run, that you're here to tell my story. To me, that's selflessness. And that is amazing. And look, I can remember having the lead one year at San Diego. I was in the final group with Peter Jacobs, and he eventually won. On the 11th hole, I told this story before, but on the 11th hole, I hit a poor shot into that par 3, and I uttered an expletive. I didn't know that the camera was right on my face. This was before cell phones. But when I got back to my hotel room that night, my mom was on the line.
Uh-oh.
And she was hot.
Yeah, she was.
She was hot. She was like, I did not raise you like that. And I'm not, I hear a lot of F-bombs on the air, you know, but you don't hear them from Jordan Spieth. And look, I mean, I get it. The game drives you nuts. Things come out of your mouth they shouldn't, but they just don't ever seem to come out of his mouth.
As a Texan, you and I talk so much, spend a lot of time. You always say, almost say, he's a good person. He's the way he was raised right. Isn't that a phrase you use in Texas, right? So you talk about your mom. I do credit his parents, Sean and Chris. If you think about it a second, sort of the grace and the balance to nurture both a world-class athlete and then care for a special needs child like Ellie and keep that, you know, full of grace is like a triumph of parenting, right? I mean, and I think that's where Jordan developed the patience, right? It had to be there. They said, you know, it wasn't Jordan rules in that house, as it so often is in a household where you have a great young athlete, right? And he had his brother, Stephen, who was an excellent college basketball player at Brown in the Ivy Leagues.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of books out there about how to turn disadvantage into advantage, and that's a great example of disadvantaged and having it work out in your favor. And there's no better example of that than the Spieth family.
I know it sounds like, you know, we love Jordan. We know him, and, you know, we want him to do well. And I get that he may not be everybody's favorite. You know, you're entitled to like who you want. Some people like apple pie, and plenty of other people like tequila, right? So,
Can you like both? Okay.
no question. Huh?
Good.
You can have a pretty good night with both, right?
Right.
Can't you? You can have a good day. Jordan, go ahead.
I probably have.
Don't remember it,
Probably
though?
will again.
I've seen that a few times out to dinner with you. Patrick Reed, John Rahm, and Jordan Spieth, 12:49 Eastern. Again, noon Eastern right here on Golf Channel, then on the weekend on NBC.